Zubia was born and raised in South Scottsdale, where he still resides today. He is a graduate of Coronado High School, a member of the Charros Foundation, Scottsdale Leadership graduate, former chairman of the Human Service Commission for the City of Scottsdale, and more. You take a breath after that. Here to tell us how he will help Scottsdale if elected to City Council is Raoul Zubia. Raoul, thank you so much for joining me at the table today. I'm really excited to have you. I want to start with, I just read that Scottsdale is one of the most expensive cities here in the country. First-time home buyers, the prices are over $500,000. How are you going to help Scottsdale be more affordable with our workforce, such as first responders, teachers, firefighters, and police officers?
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here. You're right. There is the affordability for new families, for single residents, is extraordinary. It's just way over the top. Part of it is we've been built out. We can't go. There's no room for subdivisions anymore. So what we have to do is start building multifamily units. Okay. And you're going to get both sides of the story. You're going to get one that says we have too many. You're going to get some like myself who say, in order to keep this city vibrant, we need to make sure we have people coming in and working. So what happens is, with multifamily units, you have a better chance of creating a more affordable housing. And what I mean by that is you have more units that are out there. The prices start to come down through supply and demand. What we need to do is make sure that they are affordable as much as possible. Now, as a developer, they're going to want to make the most they can, obviously. So we need to incentivize developers to say, hey, if you set aside X number of apartments or a certain percentage of apartments for what we call workforce housing or attainable housing, that could be an incentive for them to do it, and maybe they'll get an extra height. Maybe they'll get something that they want for it. So it helps the developer get what he wants. It helps us have attainable or workforce housing for our first responders, our teachers, our nurses, all those people who right now can't live in Scottsdale, although they work in Scottsdale. And then when you factor in the gas price, that makes it even worse. So what's happening, what we're seeing, and this is a cause of the recent slowdown in population, is people are going close to where they work. They're going to move close to where they work. And so we want to be able to bring as many people in here as possible to live and work and to keep our economy vibrant and used to what we're having, which is low housing taxes and great amenities throughout the city. So those are ways.
Tell me how you plan on working with intergovernmental bodies such as the Salt River, Pima, Maricopa County Tribe, Maricopa County, as well as all the surrounding valley cities here.
Actually, we do a pretty good job right now. Scottsdale does a pretty good job of that. So I will continue to work with all the other regions, with all the other cities as much as possible. Some examples of what we do now is on the fire department, we have an agreement that if you call for the fire department, and it's usually around the border city, a border surrounding area of the other cities, if you call the fire department, it may be easier, quicker for Tempe, Phoenix, even SRP, MIC to come in and take that call than it will be for somebody for a Scottsdale station to get there. They try to get it around 4 minutes from call to delivery. So they try to get there as quick as possible. So sometimes it's easier for the other cities to come. So we have that agreement. We also have an agreement with the schools where we maintain all their grounds, all the school grounds and all that. We do that for them. We don't, the schools don't do that on their own. So that's another way that we can all work together. And then probably the best that we have right now, and best because it's close to my heart, is the coalition between the homeless, how we work with the Phoenix Rescue Mission and other cities and agencies. As you probably know, we don't have agencies or shelters here in Scottsdale. What we do is we work with the other cities and the agencies that are in other cities to help get our homeless the help that they need to help them get off the streets as soon as possible.
Very nice. What are 3 main areas of improvement or changes that are on your agenda if elected to City Council?
One we just talked about, try to find a way to make a little more attainable housing, workforce housing, find a way that we can continue building so that people can live here, because if we stop growing, people stop living here, what happens is we get stagnant. Then our taxes could go up, your home value, your property taxes could go up, shared revenue that we share with the rest of the state could go down because it's based on population. So those are factors. And so my job will be to try to find the best possible way to get attainable housing for everybody.
Very nice. What are some of the ways that you have been involved in the city outside of city council? I know I gave you a good introduction and labeled some of those. Anything else that you've done?
Yeah, I'm also the president of the Partners for Paiute Board of Directors, and that is a small little board of directors that helps the community, mostly in South Scottsdale, but we go across the board of Scottsdale if anybody needs help. And ours is a little different. It's not like we're doing grants and giving money for programs. We'll do one-time rent assistance. We just purchased a washer for a disabled woman whose washer broke on her. So we purchased that for her. We purchased prescription glasses. We've purchased a battery for a homeless person who was on a scooter who couldn't afford a battery. It's those types of things that we do. Some of those, as we call gap funding or emergency funding. I'm also, you heard me say Charros Foundation. I'm also a member of the Charros Coronado Promise Committee. And that is a committee put together to help students go on to the next level. So what we do is we sponsor, we give out scholarships to Coronado students who could then go on to either SEC, MCC, or even a technical college like EVIT, stuff like that, where they can at least go forward, because most of these people, A, first family member going to college, B, if they didn't have this scholarship, they wouldn't have been able to move forward. So we saw the first year we gave out 5 scholarships. This year we gave out 25 scholarships. So it's become, and that's through the Charros Foundation, that's through the Coronado Foundation for the Future, and those two entities together have created that. And then probably my most favorite one is I am on the Parada del Sol Committee. I've been an announcer for the last 5 years.
I can hear it in your voice.
So, for the last 5 years, I've been on the corner of Brown and Main, right there at that T, and just been doing the parade. It's a lot of fun because you get to see everything from that point of view, and it's quite a job to do anyway. You don't realize it till you actually, well, you would probably realize it, but most don't realize it. That's a lot of work. So those are the other things that I've done outside of what you've already mentioned.
Before we leave, why should we vote for Raul Zubia for City Council?
Well, part of it you've already mentioned. Lifelong resident. I am the only one of the candidates that is born, raised, still lives in the same neighborhood. Others are natives, but they don't necessarily they've moved away from their original neighborhood. I'm still there. In fact, for what it's worth, when my father passed away 5 years ago, my mother took a terrible fall, so then I ended up coming back into the house, and now I help my mother and take care of my mother. So that's part of the reason that, but I've never left the neighborhood. I just decided to move back with my mom to help her out so that she can get around much easier. Lifelong resident. You've seen and I talked about what I've done through the community. I have the ability to look at things collaboratively, open-mindedly, work with others. I can work across the aisle, if you will, because I'm looking for solutions for everyone, not for my constituents, not for certain residents of Scottsdale who feel as though Scottsdale is a better town without X or Y. And then, of course, I also have my previous career as banker and my current career as a consultant with Fortune 500 companies gives me that ability to do those hard decisions and analytical thinking that can get us moving forward.
Very nice. Well, to find out more information on Raul Zubia and what he stands for, please visit his website, zubiaforscottsdale.com. That's ZUBIA for Scottsdale.com. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.